Hi everyone, and welcome to your practice today. I have the pleasure of another week of yoga with you, and I hope that you've all had a great one so far. If you guys have shown up for yourself and you're here and you're ready to yoga, then congratulations and well done to you. The hardest part is done. Let us now come to our first form, which is just to lie down on the ground. And when I say just to lie down on the ground, if you're practicing at home and you've got blankets, pillows, feel free to make yourself comfortable as possible. We'll be here for a couple of minutes, so explore just coming to rest on the back of your body, but maybe with the feet down and with the knees bent to begin with. And begin to just really experience the weight of the body, the feel of the ground. It might be the first time today that you've decided to lay down on the floor. It might be the first time today that you've laid down at all since getting out of bed. So bring it around, maybe onto the back of the head, feel into the best spot for the back of the head so that it can be heavy. And then from the top of the head all the way down through the body, let your attention, your awareness take a tour of the body and experience whatever sensation arises. You might feel that as you come into this stillness and this quiet, maybe it feels a bit awkward, maybe it feels a little bit forced. You might notice that the body is restless, that you're still moving around, and that's all okay. There's no right or wrong way to arrive at your practice. In fact, if you're feeling restless, then noticing that is really important and totally valid and not to be pushed away. Take a couple of moments maybe just to breathe and to feel the breath and see if over time those movements and that sense of needing to adjust settles as well. Notice if there are places in the body that don't feel comfortable today. Or this week it might be something that you've noticed in the body happening recently that doesn't feel good. Take your attention to that place. But also notice the places in the body perhaps where there is no sensation or it feels really comfortable. So the whole body is being examined, or the whole body is being appreciated. And we'll take a couple of breaths here. And as you breathe, relax the expression on your face. Relax the need to have any expression on the face or anything more to say or do. Just for the next couple of rounds of breath, your only focus should be how it feels to breathe, the quality of your breath. Where in the body is the breath finding space? Can you follow the breath into the body, noticing where it finds space? And then maybe noticing where the breath gets stuck, or if there's any archiness or restriction to the breath, especially now around winter time. You might feel as you rest in this way that it's uncomfortable for you and that you can't breathe very well at all. And whatever you're noticing, just stay with this sensation, this present moment, and ask yourself why you've come to your practice, what it is that you need today from your practice. A bit of time to rest, to connect back to yourself, to move, to stretch, whatever it is, just hold that in your mind and your heart. And we'll take one last deep exhalation. You might yawn the breath or sigh the breath out. And then on a breath in, give the arms an opportunity just to stretch up and overhead, all the way back behind you. Reaching through the fingertips and starting to create space in the sides of the body. Take a full body stretch if it's not uncomfortable. Take a nice full body stretch here. Reaching through the soles of the feet, reaching back through the fingertips. And then as you breathe out, slide the heels towards you, bring the hands to rest gently on the knees. And as the knees draw closer, sense into the front of the hips. How are you feeling there today? Has this been a day of lots of sitting down? Have you been able to move freely? Start to circle the knees, letting the hands go along for the ride. Synchronizing breath and movement. Using one part of the breath or one phase of the breath to take the knees halfway around the circle, and then the next phase of the breath to close the circle down. Inhaling and exhaling. And in your own time, in your own way, find the rhythm that slows these movements down. And then reverse the circle, so you're coming back on yourself the other way. You might continue with the eyes closed, maybe the eyes open. But you want to be relaxed in the face, in the jaw, and either side of the windpipe as you breathe down into the belly. A couple more circles, and then we'll lift the legs and we'll lift the arms. You can have a bend in the knees if you need to, and just circle into the wrists, into the ankle joints. If you're hearing clicks and creaks, then don't worry about those, don't be alarmed. This is just oiling up the joints. Take the circles the other way, give everything a shake. And take the hands to the back of the thighs here. Begin to find this rocking motion up the spine so that you're saying hello to each of the bones in the spine, the vertebra, but the spaces between them as well. Gentle rocking, nice and controlled. If you're struggling to rock all the way up, then just enjoy whatever place you're able to rock to. You might find that you can come all the way up to sitting that way. And if you did find apologies. If you did find a blanket, then you might want to use that blanket now underneath your sit bones, underneath your bottom. Create a bit of space at the front of the hips. And we'll start just by finding a nice, easy, comfortable seated position. Bring the feet beneath the knees. Relax down through this really heavy bone, the pelvis. Let the hands rest anywhere they're comfortable to rest. And we'll relax the gaze to the floor ahead of us. Shrug the shoulders down. Take a moment just to feel the torso stacking itself down on the floor, on the pelvis. The heart stacked above the navel, the throat, the crown of the head, and all of this lengthening up towards the sky. Take a breath in here. And then bring the hands, the fingertips up. Bring the forearms towards your side ribs. And start to rotate into the wrists, just freeing up the fingers, the fluid in the wrists. And working up a little bit of heat through the body. We want to start to combat this cold feeling that affects our circulation. Take those circles the other way. And as you circle, really take time to focus on what's actually happening and what you're feeling in the wrist. Don't let your mind wander onto unhelpful thoughts, things that aren't happening right now. And we'll bring the fingertips then to the face and to the jaw, and we can start to massage in around the jawline, but also underneath the cheekbones here. Tracing around the gum line, to the lower jaw, all the way around towards the chin. And this might feel or seem a bit silly to you, but actually this practice of self-massage, Abhyanga, is a really important part of nurturing ourselves, especially during the winter months. So just massaging down and maybe even stroking down the sides here of the neck and coming to rest at the space in the collarbones. With the eyes closed or with the eyes open, but the face relaxed, the corners of the eyes relaxed. Let's release the hands here and lower the chin down towards the chest. Take a moment just to feel the weight of the head and how the weight of the head helps stretch out that space there in the back body. And then breathing in, draw a line with your nose up through center, and then just as far as feels comfortable for you. And we're opening the throat. And as you open the throat, You're stimulating some of the glands here that help fight immunity or build immunity and fight yucky diseases and illnesses. Releasing chin to chest, and just continue with the breath this way. Breathing out, chin comes down. Breathing in, chin lifts, and also so does this space beneath the heart, the sternum. One more this way, and when your chin is down towards your chest, you're going to roll the chin across so that your left ear is above your left shoulder, and then come back the other way, all the way round to the opposite side. Using the breath, exhaling to round all the way across to the left, breathing in, stretch the neck, exhale, come back on yourself. And if this feels comfortable, then you might start to draw a circle with the head, as if you're drawing a circle or a spiral or some kind of beautiful circular shape on the sky, on the ceiling. You can't think as far out as the sky. Notice which direction you're going in, and then take some time to just swap that round. And all of this practice, because you're seated on your bottom, you're balanced, you're stable, you can go with the eyes closed. Let the senses, let your vision be turned inward. And then we'll slow this down and come over onto all fours or into tabletop. If you have issues with the knees or with the wrists, you might consider just padding that area with blankets. But once you have a comfortable position, take a look that the knees are directly beneath your hip points. Tug the shoulders back gently away from the ears, but lift up out of the shoulders as if you were going to dome the upper back a little bit here. This is exaggerated. Just release down through the shoulders, into the wrists, into the knuckles, release through the hips, down into the knees, tracing a line then from the knees to the tops of the feet. Noticing if the body really wants to move at this point, probably it does. So we'll take one more breath here, just really landing in tabletop. And then we can begin to take the spine into a C shape, sending the hips and the shoulders to one side and then to the other, opening up space at the waist, but also at the intercostal muscles, so the muscles between the ribs that help the ribs to expand and to contract with the breath. And what happens in winter is as the circulation decreases, so does the efficiency or the effectiveness of the organs, the lungs and the heart being two of them. So we want to open up space in the side body and then slow this down, come back to that neutral long spine and press the earth away from you so that you round in the upper back, up toward the ceiling, like a Halloween cap. And on a breath in, dip the belly, shine the light of the heart towards the front of the mat, shoulders back away from the ears. Exhale, and we stretch out the back of the body. Look towards your belly button. As you breathe in, let your belly button release to the floor and arch the spine away from the earth so we stretch the front of the body. And continue with the rhythm of your own breath. So whatever pace your breath is setting for you, let this movement come within the breath, slowing it down if you can. Exhale, let's round here one more time. Good, and then tuck the toes and give all of the toes a stretch, all the way from the big toe through to the pinky toe, the spaces between them, the inner arch of the foot, and then press with the hands to press the sit bones all the way back. So stretching the lower back a little bit here. Breathe in, shift the weight of the body forwards and over the wrists and feel your core muscles switching on a little maybe. Exhale, press the sit bones back. Stretching the feet, the toes, the fingers, the palms. Inhale, shift forward. Starting to just feel the body weight come forwards over the wrists. You can carry on this way. You might speed it up. Start to feel the inner fire building. We want to get warm in our practice this winter. Or you can meet me in a downward facing dog. As you breathe out, you lift the knees, lift your tailbone up towards the sky. bend the knees and really lengthen and elongate the spine. So you're reaching up through your tailbone, down through the crown of the head. Give the head a nod and shake. And then walk the hands in towards the feet, spacing the feet out so that you've got lots of balance here. Soft in the knees, you want to drop the weight of the head, stretching out the back of the body, but also the back of the legs. Bowing generously here. And then tracing those fingertips forwards, walking forwards onto the hands, into downward facing dog. Feeling the stretch of the back of the body. And gazing between the knees and drawing those inner thighs to the back of the mat, the back of your room. Lifting the tailbone. Good. Begin to walk the feet now towards the hands and take your time. Really register each footstep. There's no rush to get there. But when you do, bend the knees, soften forwards over the legs. Give the head a nod and a shake. Catch hold of the elbows, find a gentle sway from side to side. And then rolling up gently, segment by segment through the spine. You're going to let the head and the neck be the last things to come up all the way. Releasing your fingertips towards the floor. Taking a moment just to find our feet. So you can be at the front edge of your mat, the very front of your mat, with the feet around about hip distance apart, fingertips reaching down, shoulder blades relaxing down. And then on an inhalation, lift the hands up. And as you lift the hands, it's like you're picking up one of your feet and we'll roll into the ankle, into the wrists here, also playing a little bit with our balance. When the palms face the ground, we're going to release the feet down. Take a moment just to shift the weight across and repeat on the other side. Take the wrists the opposite way, moving into the ankle. And as you shift across to this side, notice how it feels for you in this standing leg. Breathing out, releasing down. Good. Let's go one more time to each side, challenging ourselves to keep in our own internal rhythm. Okay, so keep within your own internal rhythm, making sure you go in both directions with these circles. Palms face down, releasing, exhale. Inhale, opposite side. Wonderful. So as we release the foot down this time, we'll steady ourselves, feel into the outer edges of them, lift the inside arches of the feet, and lift the arms up and in line with the ears. As you do this, you awaken the whole body. The whole body. So you might even want to lift your gaze, energize the fingers, feel the wrists coming alive. Every time we take the arms up like this, it helps increase the heart rate, which is great this time of year for heating up the body, which is great. Take a nice breath in. And then as you breathe out, elbows bend behind you, dripping the fingers down, raining the fingertips down to the earth. Good, you could do the same thing again, or you can come up onto the tiptoes this time, onto the balls of the feet as you inhale. Reaching up through the arms, or perhaps even taking the hands together here. Interlace the fingers, press the palms up to the sky. Good, breathing in. Keep the feet apart or step the feet together. Exhale, taking a side bend. Doesn't matter which way. As you breathe in, we'll come to center and repeat on the opposite side. Now, if you have your heels down, you can still enjoy a lovely shift from side to side in the body before breathing out. And with control, landing the heels back down. Let's circle the shoulders here. So pressure points in the shoulders and in the forearms and in the wrists that help build heat in the body, according to some really ancient types of Chinese medicine. Come forwards with those shoulder rolls. So every time we work the arms, the shoulders, the elbows, we build heat up and we help ourselves take bigger and fuller breaths and fight off those kind of colds and congestions that can happen at this time of year. So feel the breath. Come towards the front of the mat if you're not already there. Notice how it feels to bring the feet to hip distance. And this is the hip points, not the outer hips. Fingertips reaching down, shoulders down, lift at the heart. We're going to build up through some Surya Namaskar, even more heat through the body. Inhale, let's lift the arms, take the palms to face one another. As you exhale, release the palms down as though you're pressing energy or awareness down the front of your body. Let's take one more inhalation here. Good. As you exhale and the hands come down, you're going to fold forwards and bring your torso in line with the ground, and then soften the knees and fold completely. Slide the hands up towards the knees or up as far as the thighs. Lengthen through and out of the top of your head. Exhale, folding forwards. From here, we'll step the left leg back and then the right leg back into plank. We're going to hold this plank for a moment and just feel into what's happening here. So we're on the balls of the feet, the toes are tucked, we're pressing back through the heels. The body is a long line, we're not sagging the hips to the floor, and we're not kind of pressing up into an awkward downward facing dog. We're in a nice plank, lifting out of the shoulders. Maybe you can even introduce a bit of rocking here over the toes. Build up not just a bit of heat, but also the confidence, you know, the part of you that's here to show up for yourself. And then we'll lower down onto the knees, hook the ankles, bend the elbows and relax down onto the belly. Feet come down, tops of the feet in line with the hips. Inhale and just lift the chest. No need to press the floor away from you, just feel the chest lifting. Looking towards the earth, keep the back of the neck long. And keep working the legs, let the energy through the legs continue to. Exhale and fold, relax back towards the earth. Tuck the toes, lift the knees and feel the legs switching on here. Pressing to the top of a push-up, hold and wait for your breath out to press back into downward facing dog. You can walk the feet a bit closer to you, make that adjustment. And then experience the world here from upside down. Coming into a downward facing dog and tipping the heart higher than the head, helping us feel a bit of a shift in perspective sometimes. Wriggle the hips, free up the waist. Good, and then we'll step the left foot forwards. Now if you need to come down onto the knees first before stepping the foot forwards, then you can. Or from downward facing dog, you can bring the knee in and close to the chest. Step the foot forwards and then release down onto the opposite knee. Draw the heart forwards as if you're trying to lengthen the spine towards the front edge of your mat. Breathing in, you're going to peel the spine up away from the floor, stretching out the front hip. You want this lovely C-shaped curve all the way through to the back foot. Inhale, let's lift the arms here as if we're holding a giant beach ball above the head. Get some blood flow from the fingers back to the heart. And exhale, fold. Shift back into plank pose. You can always replace plank poses with half planks instead if you need the knees down. That's not a problem. Or hug the front of your body towards the back of your body. Firm up the shoulders. Inhale. Drop the knees. Link the ankles. Release with the breath out onto the belly, onto the tops of the feet. Inhale and then lift, using the muscles in the upper back. If you feel that you're really using the hands here, don't. Snakes don't have hands actually, and this pose is all about your inner snake. So slink up into a back bend and then fold forwards towards the earth. Tucking the toes, lifting the knees, energizing the legs, pushing to the top of Palankasana. Exhale, downward facing dog. Experiencing the stretch in the back of the legs. Maybe you're releasing one heel at a time, walking the dog or dancing with the wolves, whatever you're doing here. Feel into, you know, what's good here in downward facing dog. Notice if the mind is wandering, maybe you're listing things. Maybe you're thinking about, you know, whether someone's messaged you or your phone's beeping, or come back to the breath. Feel the breath in. Step forwards on the breath out. Leading this time with the right foot lowering onto the left. Inhale and lifting away from the earth, away from gravity, down and forwards with the hips, up and skyward with the head, with the heart. Exhale, release down, shift the heart forwards, step back into plank pose. Coming back through that practice of chaturanga, or this time from plank, hug your arms into the sides of the body, bend your elbows towards the back of the mat, slide the body through the hands and into upward facing dog. Really stretching out the front of the body. Exhale, downward facing dog, lifting the spine, lifting the pelvis, dropping the weight of the head. Feel into a couple of breaths here. You want to breathe right down into the front of the hips, into the belly. Let your Buddha bellies expand. Let your bellies fill out. And the side ribs. Inhale. Good. Exhale, and we'll step the left foot forwards. Bring the right knee down. From here, inhale and reach the fingertips forwards and scoop the energy up. As you take that defiant step away from gravity and from the earth, reach through the fingertips, cross the hands in front of one another, and then bring the palms to face one another. Reaching out through the elbows, you're breathing into the upper back. Good. Unwind the hands, let the fingertips come down to the ground, shift back in your own time to plank. We'll take our vinyasa from here, lowering down through chaturanga, forwards and up into a big stretch for the front body and a beautiful back bend. Exhale, downward facing dog. Imagining yourself like two playing cards, balanced here at the tip or the top of your pelvis. Inhale to the belly, and then as you breathe out, hug this right knee in towards your chest and step it forwards between the hands. Left knee down. Inhale, scoop your energy into the hands and up above your head. Again, cross the hands in front of one another and then take the palms to touch, the fingertips touch. Inhale. Good. Exhale. And as you release the hands, you're going to lengthen the spine forwards, shift back into plank pose. Bring your body level with the floor. Lift up out of the shoulders. Firm up your core muscles. Good. Use the length of a breath out to come forwards and down. Shifting between the hands into upward facing dog. Breathe in. Exhale. Downward facing dog. Imagine that if you did have a tail, your tail would be free here, waggling up in the sky as your blood flow is now given the chance to come down towards your chest and your head, giving your heart a bit of a rest. Breathe in. Good, and then as you breathe out, press back with the hips, belly, abdomen against the thighs. Walking forwards then, feet towards the hands. Inhale, lift the hands up to the knees or all the way up to the thighs as you reach forwards through the top of the head. Exhale, bowing generously and really sensing into the back of the legs now. Maybe they feel warmer and so it's easier for you to stretch them. Maybe they're still feeling a bit tight and you need the softness in the knees so the spine can relax. Good. Spread your wings, feel into your upper back. Use the upper back to rise as you inhale, sweep the arms up, sweep your wings up to the sky, fingertips touch. Exhale, take the hands and palms down into the heart space. Pause there, feel the beat of your heart. Feel into the soles of the feet. And then we'll turn out to one side and take a nice big wide step out. So it might be that you have to adjust things, your position on the mat, the position of the whatever you're watching this on, so that you are able to take the wide stance on your mat. And you're looking for about 3 feet between each feet, so that when you bend the knees, The knees track the middle toes. We'll start with the legs nice and straight and with the hands at the navel. Inhale here. Let there be space at the underarms and for the side ribs. Relax the shoulders, relax the elbows. As you breathe out, bend the knees and release the hands all the way here to the inside line of the thighs. You might need to keep adjusting, really relax your weight into your feet. Inhale and lift the energy from the inner arches all the way up the legs to the navel. We're synchronizing the legs with the arms. So the end of the movement in the hands is at the same time as you reach your lowest point in your squat. Inhale, bring yourself back. Your breath might be moving much faster than mine, and that's okay as long as you follow what is happening in your breath. Or if you've realized that the breath is going too fast, then you can slow it down. Take your time. We'll do 1 or 2 more this way. And then land down in the squat. Good. Lift the arms all the way out and up. As they touch, let the wrists cross and let your fingertips come to rest on the tops of the collarbones. Okay. So we've got some nice spiraling movements with the spine coming. But we'll warm up the spine first by gently folding forwards, maybe just an inch or so. Feel into the feet, inhale, shift the weight of the spine back. And again, exhale, shift the spine forward, see how far forwards you feel comfortable to come. Inhale, shift the spine back. Good, this time let's go to the left, exhale. You're going to be feeling this in your legs, absolutely. Inhale to the centre. Exhale to the opposite side, but really you're really focusing on giving your weight into the feet. Let your feet hold your weight. Relax the hands to the floor. Good, this time as you breathe in, straighten the legs, relax into the soles of the feet. Turn on the left foot, so left foot turns in, right foot turns out, bend the front knee, warrior 2. Find your lovely long line across the chest, out through each of the fingertips. You also have a lovely straight line here in the back leg to the outer edge of the back foot. So as you're finding your position, you might notice that the arms start to feel quite heavy. So reach through the index fingers. Good. From here, as you inhale, straighten the front leg, bring the hands to touch above your head. Exhale. Bend the front knee, release down into warrior 2. Really lifting the foot. Inhale, straighten the front leg, hands touch above the head. Exhale, plunging down into warrior 2. Good, we'll hold warrior 2 now. Draw the left shoulder blade back, open up across the heart. Flip the right palm to face the sky. Inhale, reverse your warrior. Improving the amount of range we have here in the side body, really taking our attention there. Exhale, warrior 2. Straighten the front leg. Reach as if there's something mega exciting here, all the way over to the right. Not losing any space in the side of the waist. Take the hand to the thigh, the knee, the shin, opposite fingertips up to the sky. And here we're in Trikonasana. And as you breathe in Trikonasana, try to rotate or open the chest all the way out to the left. You might look beyond the thumb, relaxing the weight of the head, the side of the neck. Really gather your energy from the feet up through the legs and lift up out of Trikonasana. Bend the front knee, warrior 2. Warrior 2 with a beautiful, nice straight spine. Strong arms, building that inner heat. This time as you breathe in, we're going to lift the arms and straighten the front leg. We're going to turn on that right heel and come back to center. Good. Opposite side now. Left foot turns out, release down into warrior 2. And all warrior stances are about feeling strong, but also about being concentrated. So if your mind is wandering, come into your body. Feel the thigh wrap around so that the knee is tracking the middle toes. Feel the inside of the arch on that right foot now, lifting away from the floor so that the outer edge of the foot is in real nice contact with the ground. And then from there you can fix your gaze beyond the middle finger of the front hand. Find your pathway back to the breath. Inhale and straighten the front leg, bring the hands to touch above the head. Exhale, bend the left knee, warrior two. Two more this way, flowing with the breath, moving with the energy that you're drawing up from the earth, through the feet, through the legs, across the pelvis. Good, let's pause in warrior two now. Check what your back arm is doing, keep it in line with your shoulders. Flip the front palm, lift the hand up, reverse your warrior. Really trying to tone the diaphragm here. Give it space, give it life. Exhale, warrior two. Straightening the left leg this time and keeping this space in the side waist. So reaching to the left. Feed the hips to the right. Trikonasana. Triangles, triangle pose. Triangles in the body. Triangles everywhere. Breathe in, allow your spine to lengthen as if you've got a piece of thread tied to the top of your head. They're pulling you forwards. And at the same time, there's this release back through the sit bones and the hips. Find your connection to the floor through the feet. Inhale, lift up out of Trikonasana. Bend left knee, Virabhadrasana 2, warrior 2. Feel the energy of the legs meeting at the pelvis and up through the spine and through the throat and through the crown. Pivoting now on that left heel as we inhale, straighten the left leg. Take the hands to touch. Bring the hands down the center line. Both feet are facing forwards now. Tuck the fingers here by the hip creases and fold. Bringing the torso forwards and into parallel. Feel the energy of the legs, a nice deep stretch through the back of the legs. Keeping the knees nice and straight, the legs straight. Take your fingertips to the floor. Work the feet wider still as far as feels comfortable for you. And this actually sometimes is easier the wider your stance is. Don't let your spine start to round and collapse unless you feel comfortable now to release the crown of your head towards the floor. Wherever you are, let your breath continue into your belly. Lift the inside arches up away from the earth. Feel into the knuckle of the big toe, the outer edge of the foot, the inside line of the thighs. Good, and then from here come back up onto the hands or onto the fingertips. Bring the heels and then the toes in slightly, just to allow for you now to come back, come back, come back, and fold. Fold with the feet hip distance apart, or maybe they come all the way to touching. As you fold, let go of the weight of your head completely, nod it, give it a shake. And then ragdoll up through the spine, gently, slowly, all the way back to standing. Now the final thing we're going to do in standing involves real deep release through the legs into the ground. So feel all four corners of the feet. And then shift your weight over into whichever feels like your strongest side. And you might want to play with moving from one side to the other until you really feel what is your strongest side today. With mine being my right, I'm shifting my weight into my right foot and bringing my left heel to the top of that foot. Take the hands into the space where your heart lives. And focus now on dropping your weight from the crown of the head all the way down this center line into the middle of your strongest foot today. You can stay exactly where you are, just working on finding your balance, or you can challenge your balance by bringing the foot to the inside arch or the inside ankle, or up a little higher still onto the calf muscle. And really, you can go wherever you want to with this foot, as long as you're not putting any tension on the knee. You could even reach down for the ankle and tuck the heel right in at the top of the thigh. And if you feel that you've had quite an overwhelming day today, maybe people have wanted quite a lot from you, feel free to keep the hands in and your energy quite close, or you can spread your branches. And with the same act of the lifting through the arms, we can really help fight off the cold. And then as we exhale, we gently, gently lower the arms, release the branches, plant the roots back down into the ground, and we shift the weight across to the opposite side. Notice that on this side, it might not be as comfortable if this is not your strongest side. You might surprise yourself. As tall as you are on the top of the ground, you're sending roots down through the foot into the earth beneath you. So set your foundation, hands into the heart space, challenging your balance or staying with that foot on the floor. There are trees of many shapes and sizes. All trees look different, but ultimately all trees are beautiful and important. So as you wibble and wobble on this side and you feel, any level of inadequacy, just remember how beautiful you are in your form right now, however it feels or looks to you. Opening the arms, stretching the arms, lifting your branches, and then using your exhalation just to relax down out of it completely and give the heels a bounce, give the arms a shake, just relax. We'll come down towards the ground, with this lovely ragdoll through the spine action. So spread the feet, spread your weight into the areas of the feet, drop your chin towards your chest, feel the weight of the head gently taking you on a journey forwards. The spine starts to curve in on itself now, and the upper back rounds, and then the middle of the back rounds, and we're letting each part of the body have its own time here to experience this fold. And as you fold completely, feel the spring back from the earth, as if you could almost come back and ragdoll back up again. Only we won't. We'll come down, come all the way down onto the knees. Bring the toes together and settle the weight of your hips back on the heels. Stacking the potatoes, 1 potato, 2, rest the head here, or all the way down on the ground. And with the weight of your body now forwards over the thighs, let your breath fill up the back of your body, or let your awareness of the breath be in your back lungs and the back of the ribs. Imagine that the back of your body or your t-shirt is like the sail on a ship, and the breath in is caught by this sail or caught by the back of your body, and it is expanding with that breath, expanding with the breath. Okay, we'll take one more breath out here. And then rolling gently through the spine. Let each part of the spine re-articulate or restack until you're in a neutral position, and we'll shimmy on over onto our bottoms. You might feel that you want to have the blanket underneath you. You might feel that actually it's not for you. Bring your feet to hip distance apart and let the hands rest at the back of the knees. For a moment, just work on noticing the connection of your core to the spine as it reclines back. You don't want to suddenly start rounding or collapsing onto the lower back. Feel yourself balanced on the back of the pelvis. At the same time, as you relax the spine back, now maybe we can lift the legs one at a time or both together into a supported boat pose. You can also hold on to the legs this way if you prefer, holding onto the wrists, or with the hands Or if you really want to challenge yourself, you can extend your arms here in line with the shin bones, parallel to the floor, lifting the palms and from beneath the heart. Plug the knees together. And don't try to speak while you're holding it. Straightening the legs if you really want to challenge yourself much further, pointing the toes, giving the legs a lovely straighten, and then bringing them down, and supporting yourself as you lower onto the back of your body. Feel how easily the back of the body meets the ground. Shift the heels right underneath the knees. So you want to bring them really nice and close. Shin forwards. Tuck your chin in slightly so that the back of the neck is nice and long. Keep the palms of the hands here on the floor to begin with. And notice the soft tissue in the palms, between the shoulders, the soles of the feet. And then on a breath in, we're going to lift the hips. And as we lift the hips, we'll take the arms up and overhead with us. Nice extended bridge pose, Setu Bandhasana, big stretch of the front body here. Exhale and release down slowly through the spine, keeping the arms all the way overhead in the position they're in. It's as if we've forgotten to take the arms with us. Forgetful bridge. So we have to go back for them. Let's lift the spine from the pelvis all the way up to the shoulders. And now that we've got the arms, we forget the hips. So just lowering the arms. The legs are still working to keep the hips up. And when the fingertips touch the floor, inhale, scoop the arms up overhead with that breath in. It's like the breath moves the arms. This time all together they can come down. Exhale, the spine, the arms, the pelvis, the palms. And again, breathing in. Feel as if the breath in is drawing you up. You're floating up. Exhale, just the spine comes down. Slowly, segment by segment. Inhale, let's lift those hips back up. Let's go back for the arms. No troll left behind. Exhale, let's sweep the arms down. Keeping those hips elevated. Inhale, let's come back. We forgot the hips. Exhale, the whole movement is closed down. Good, scoop belly to thighs, knees towards the chest. Hands come around the outer edges of the legs and we'll rock gently side to side. Using the muscles in your abdominals to support you. You don't want to go rocking over to one side like I almost did. Good, relax the soles of the feet to the floor. Take a moment here just to relax, release the pelvis. This is a really heavy bone. And if we can allow for the heaviness of that bone to relax, then the muscles around it will also begin to relax. And that feeds up into the back and down through the legs. So don't underestimate the power of just relaxing. It's a rebellious act, just laying down for no reason in the middle of the day. So we're doing this in order to give the body a chance to repair, to restore itself back to harmony, or closer to harmony. And we do that by doing nothing, by doing absolutely nothing at all, absolutely nothing. But allowing ourselves just to be present, be here in this moment, as we are. The breath, the body, just as you are. And if you're comfortable this way, you can spend the next couple of moments just simply breathing or feeling the body breathing itself. Or you can take a little pathway, a little cycle, a tour of your body by following the sound of my breath and the sound of my voice as I talk you through a yoga nidra or a practice called yogic sleep. And we begin that process simply by relaxing and resting down. So know that the invitation now is to switch off anything in the body that is still doing, that is still holding. And as you let go of the tension, let go of any urge to move or to be interested in what is happening outside of you, in yourself. And we'll continue that process of coming home to ourselves through the senses by taking a second just to close the eyes. Close the eyes and sense what you're able to see on the back of the eyelids, on the inside of the eyelids. If the eyes are open, if it's not cool to close the eyes for any reason, then just relax your gaze, let your eyes glaze over. See without looking for anything. Feel the muscles behind the eyes relax. You might get a sense of the shape of the eyes or of the weight of the eyeballs. We're not here to make any judgments or fix anything or change anything. We're just noticing. So as you notice the eyes, you can relax that sensation now and come to the sensation of the ears and of your hearing, and see if it's possible to filter in all the sounds that are coming from around you, just all of them. No one sound is any more important than any other sound. And it might be that you can hear the sounds in your room or in your house. It could be that you can hear out into your street. Or further than that. Don't limit yourself. Reach out with your hearing. Take pleasure in the fact that you're able to hear and that you're able to land yourself in this moment by listening to the sounds that are coming from around you right now. Not the sound of your brain mulling over thoughts that are unnecessary, unhelpful, but the sounds of what is happening right now. Birds in the trees, cars passing. Whatever it is, let it be, and then come to the sound of your breath. In all of those sounds, notice the sound of your breath, and let the breath captivate you and let it draw you in, and let the quality of it, the sound, the vibration resonate. Let it sit with you. This has been the familiar breath, your forever friend. It's been with you since the very beginning of your adventure on this planet, on this earth, in this life. So feel the breath. No sound more important right now than the sound of your breath, as the inhalation and the exhalation come and go. See each new breath as a new beginning. A new chance to notice, to nourish, and to nurture ourselves. Follow the sound of the breath from your ears and your hearing now into the mouth, into the throat. Notice the space within the mouth, but also any taste that might be in the mouth. As we come to the end of our practice, we invite this deep stroke of inner awareness. As we rest the body, notice the taste in the mouth, the breath at the back of the throat, being drawn in through the nostrils. And if we encourage this awareness of the breath, then hopefully we can really journey to a place in the body where there is quiet. Somewhere where the chatter of the mind is able to slow down. But being really curious just about the flow of the breath in and the flow of the breath out. Nothing more. That's enough.
body breathe itself for a few moments longer. Start to feel back into the skin, into the soft tissue, into the muscle. Feel the bones and their heaviness on the ground. Get a sense of the ground rising up and wrapping itself around you and holding your body as you start to emerge. And as you start to emerge, let's do it by a gentle movement of fingers and toes. A rolling into the shoulders, or a chance maybe just to squeeze and hug the body close. Whatever you need, let it be intuitive. Allow yourself to come over onto one side, so you're rolling over onto the side of your body in a fetal position, really familiar, super beautiful. From that fetal position, take a moment. Pause. This is your time. This is your space. This has been your practice. Taking it off the mat and into the rest of your day and into the rest of your week. Make a commitment to being curious. And gently begin to rise, spiraling up through the spine to seated. Arranging yourself so that you're comfortable on your sit bones, that you're comfortable through the legs, and bring the hands into the heart space. Drawing the left hand and the right hand together is a signal that we're closing the practice, that we're drawing it in. Let's take a breath in here. As you breathe out, fold forwards, let the fingertips come down. Thank you to the earth. And then as you breathe in, we'll lift the arms, we'll lift the fingertips. Say thank you to the sky, to the air, to the space around us. And then as you zip the hands back into the heart space, we'll bow to ourselves, giving thanks for this body and for this time and for this energy and for the breath and all the things that make us the beautiful selves that we are. And I hope that you'll have a very magical week in Namaskaram. Thank you so much for showing up. Have a beautiful, beautiful rest of your day. Namaste.